Woman's passion should not matter. You agreed. Why is that?
I agree with it on both parts. Like, you just put women, but I think like women and men's past should not matter. The past is the past. Can't do anything about it.
Sure.
What about the consequences, though? Like,
What consequences?
of the past? You don't think that matters?
Like, what consequences?
Like people's actions, like who they've been with, if they've had kids with other people, like nothing in the past matters?
I mean, if we're talking about kids, like obviously the kids are going to be a part of the picture. I guess I'm confused. Like, I'm just talking about like body count,
Like body
people
count,
you've been with, like things you might have done that you wouldn't do now.
How would you determine that doesn't have a consequence on you, let alone someone else?
You wouldn't, but I wouldn't judge somebody based on what they've done in the past.
Well, what if I had AIDS or something?
That doesn't, okay, yes, okay, cool.
So consequences matter.
Does matter.
And then your answer, why a woman's passion not matter?
I also
Bring
agree
out
that it should be
AIDS.
women and men. I just think anyone's past is their past.
Sure.
If you're focusing, obviously, no, I think you should definitely take into account, like, if it's a huge mistake they did. But I don't think if they're working through it and they're trying to change, what's there to keep bringing it up?
Three question. A couple questions for the both of you. So within the context of body count, right? Because I could give a bunch of examples, but when it comes to body count, to you, Sophia, would you date a guy who previously had sex with men?
Yeah, I mean, if they're bi.
You wouldn't have. Yeah, sure, he's bi. You wouldn't have any issue with it.
No.
There wouldn't be some component of a man who just had, I'm not going to say it, but just had carnal knowledge of a man a week before meeting you.
That's sexuality. That would be that they're bi and they chose to be with a man, and now a week later they're choosing to be with a woman. I don't feel like
You wouldn't make any, like, so you would date a guy who
I would date a bi man. Yeah.
Okay, fair. And then Kelly, would you date your old school and traditional? Would you date a guy who previously slept with men?
So I feel like the old school traditional, like it's being like labeled.
Okay,
entirely
forget
me.
that. That was just some banter.
No, I got you. But I would say, yes, I'm open-minded towards sexuality.
Okay, so you would date a guy who
Had sex?
Has sex. I have.
It's not sex. Pee-pee in the poo-poo.
Wait, you've had sex with
No,
gay men?
No, bisexual men.
Bisexual. So
They're also gay.
The gay to me seems like they just only like men.
How about this?
Bisexual is like indicating.
Would
all
you,
gender.
past doesn't matter, would you date a guy who cheated?
I did.
Sure you did, but is it your preference? Like, would you prefer to date a guy who has no history of infidelity, or a guy who has cheated on every single girlfriend he's been with?
No, I wouldn't want to be with the cheater.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, no, I can agree with like the cheater thing and all of that. I guess when I'm looking and answering that question, I'm not thinking that deeply into it. I was like thinking about
Sure.
the rest of your questions.
Okay, but just to be clear, you guys would date a guy who gets in the ass.
A bisexual man.
Just say, I want you to repeat after me. I will date. And
I don't think it's that crazy.
S the D
You
of a
might
guy.
think it's crazy.
Well, no, you guys soften what it is. You try to make it like it's a sexuality.
guys-
It's not even sex.
All right.
It's
I'm
not
getting
sex.
into this.
What
Or
is
just
not
like
sex?
sodomy.
It's
or whatever.
literally not sex.
Wait, you're saying gay sex is not
No,
sex?
it's not sex.
Is oral
Why?
sex not sex?
Not really.
So penetration is
What
not
is
sex
it?
of any kind.
It's like some type of sodomy or mutual masturbation.
Even if they reach orgasm, it's still not sex.
If I reach orgasm from banging a
You
refrigerator,
guys heard it
is
here.
sex?
If you want to be
It's
pure and stay a
masturbation?
virgin, just
If
fuck
I-
in the ass.
if I-
then you're
Sexual
safe.
activity?
No sex
Can I
has
have
been
sex
had.
with a tree?
I disagree with you, Bob, on
If
this
you're
one.
Wait,
masturbating, yeah,
can I?
sure.
That's what I just said. Is Sex, no.
It's sexual activity.
No, look, we're talking about intercourse,
Clinton.
what's
I
considered
did not
sex
have
between
sex
two
with that
people.
woman.
Okay? This is where the definition, you guys run with the definition and then soften what it actually is. And then it's a way of basically, you're basically making it ambiguous. Like you're making it like, oh, it's just this thing that they do. For instance, Kyla, are you like in favor of homosexuality?
What do you mean? Like, do I personally?
Well, because you say you're a Christian, right?
Yeah. Like,
Okay,
do I
cool.
think it's fine for other people to choose to be gay? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think a marriage between two dudes can be consummated with sodomy?
Like in a spiritual sense?
Yeah, in like a meaningful sacramental way.
Like at a spiritual level, I'm not sure if that would be viewed like legitimate. I'm not sure my theology on that specifically
not?
right now. Because I'm not sure if I'm convinced that at a Christian level that like two men can be like unified spiritually.
Why wouldn't you know that if you call yourself a Christian? I don't understand.
If you want to get into like the theology of it, there's like an important thing of understanding like what the key words were when they're talking about it and what they actually mean. We can like get into the Greek.
So a priest-
I don't want to get into a Greek apologetics.
I have to move it on from
course.
this, but so going to Kelly, going to Sophia, if past doesn't matter, we're speaking about body count. Like, should men not care about body count, basically? Like your body count?
If they want to focus on it, that's on them. I think it's
Okay.
shallow.
It's shallow. What about you?
Are we really are we asking for people's body counts like when we're dating them? Like, are you
Sure.
going on a date and being like, "What's your body count?" before
Yes, we are.
you are?
First, not even before on the dating app. First
in
message.
there, yeah.
What's
It's
your
in the
body
bio.
count? You strumpet.
No, I don't care. I don't
Okay.
think it should matter.
So if past doesn't matter, what's your body count?
I've never actually counted.
We have time. Go ahead.
Do I have to?
Yes, you must.
Okay. 2 million.
I see that. You give off fucked a nation vibes.
Thank you.
The entire nation of Qatar.
Yeah, something like that. It's maybe like half of Norway, you know? So, do you want to give us the real answer, though?
I don't think past not mattering should be the reason that she outs herself to the
Well,
whole
hold on.
world.
Let's let her answer. It seems like she might answer, so go
I'm just
ahead.
saying I'm not going to answer.
I mean, I don't really. I'd rather not.
Do you want to do a range? It's like you could say between 200 and 300. Do you want to do that?
If we can all do it, then yes. Not just
I
me.
think all the women here will do that.
If they all do it, yeah. Why do I have
So
to be the
why don't
only
you
one?
go first?
Do you want to do a poll and see if all the women will actually do that? 'Cause
I'm
Yeah,
just-
I
I-
think men should be included.
I kind of believe they will, so.
I think I heard Sophia
I don't know.
say
I'm
that she
not
wouldn't do it.
I feel like, I don't know, that might have your.
I feel like you're trying to make her
You
do
know
it.
what consent is?
Oh my God. Do you know what consent is? I didn't consent for you to wear that necklace today.
It's free
You
will.
are
Free
necklace
will.
graping me right now. Okay, so anyways, eye graping me with, anyways, whatever. Do you want to do it or no?
If we pull, if we
Okay, I'll ask somebody else. Body count? Going this way?
I refuse.
Do you want to do a range? Like you don't have to get the exact number, but it's 10 to 20, something like that.
No.
Okay, what about you, Sophia?
I already said I wasn't going to.
Do you want to do a range? Is it over 10? Over
2. The 2 people I've dated.
Okay, sure. I believe it. What about you?
I would, but I prefer not to.
You, huh?
I would for the show.
Do it.
but
Wait. You're Lexi.
Sticking with
You're
the
a homie.
girls.
You're the homie.
I
You're
can't.
you're a big fan of the show. You gotta.
I know.
You gotta
no,
be the.
but going into it, that was the one question I didn't want to answer. Just
Range.
more out of
Do you
respect
want-
for people I date. I just don't know if I want. I'll tell them, but I just don't know if I want it.
Do you want to do a range? Okay. Kyla.
I'm just going to stick with the girlies at this point. Yeah, no.
What? Oh my God. Fucking solidarity. What about you?
I feel like
Be a fucking legend. Be a legend.
so I am voluntarily celibate, so I've been with like 10 to 15 max.
Guys, W's in
Including
the
girls.
chat for 10
Well,
to 15.
I say the W is the opposite. I think it's progress that this show has progressively produced women who have acquired some level of maybe shame. Or maybe they don't want people to. Maybe it's the case that it actually does matter, that maybe there's a reason you don't want people to know that it's not just personal. I understand that aspect, but there is something about it that kind of has a sense of a devaluing for yourself. And this, I think this still applies to men. It's not in the same way, but I think it's a good thing for women to stop celebrating their body count or stop like even feeling like they should share it.
Let's test this. If I asked you off show later, would you tell me what your body count is? Would you be comfortable letting me know?
I'd rather not know.
Would you
Into-
let me
into
know
the mic.
privately?
I probably would, yeah.
Okay, so
I
Charlie.
just genuinely think it's none of anyone's business. Like I said, past shouldn't matter, which
How
means
about-
the number
okay.
shouldn't matter.
Gotcha. Would you share with me your body count privately off afterwards?
wouldn't,
Would you share with me privately
No.
the body count?
Okay, so
Wait.
I don't know if it's shame that's doing this necessarily, right? Like
Well, I would
sometimes
say
it's
it
shame.
more is because of shame. Mine isn't insanely high, but I would say it 100% comes from a place of shame. I just think, I mean, for me, with my religious beliefs, I think anything outside of marriage is shameful.
Wait, are you
so-
Christian?
I'm Christian, yeah.
When you say you're religious, are you waiting until marriage?
That's something I'm trying to figure out. I kind of want to after the whole celibacy thing with the Muslim guy. I'm kind of like, well, maybe I should. But
How long have you been celibate?
Like a year and a half.
Year and a half, okay.
years. Yeah.
Question though, if you were asked on a date privately, not on this podcast, if a guy genuinely asked you, because he wanted to know what your body count is, would you then give the
Yeah.
answer?
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, what? I was thinking of a different question.
If you were on a date with a guy, you're not on a podcast, he's just asking you privately, would you give him the answer?
Oh, no.
You wouldn't?
No, I just said that I don't think it matters.
Right, but it matters to him.
Then I don't know what to tell him.
So let's say he's the perfect guy, but you don't know. I mean, I guess you could like try to suss it out by being like, well, what would be too high of a body count for you? Perfect guy, but in order for this courtship to progress, he wants to know, and he's going to want an answer. Would you tell the perfect guy your body count? And it could go either way. It could be like, he's like, that's acceptable, or it's not acceptable. So would you tell him then?
No.
Wait, you would lose out. So you'd lose out on the perfect guy, and he might be totally fine with your body count, but you don't know until after you tell it to him. You lose out on the perfect guy because you wouldn't want to reveal how many sexual
what
partners.
makes him so perfect? Like, why is he forcing me to tell him something?
I don't know. What's the perfect guy to you? Whatever that is, that's how perfect he is.